Hey folks, it's me, Vinny here. I came here to say that we now have our NBA Finals matchup. We have in the Western Conference the Phoenix Suns playing in their third ever NBA Finals against the Milwaukee Bucks from the East, who are also playing in their third NBA Finals. Now, I am so excited for this matchup for a lot of reasons. First off, you got to look at the teams themselves. Now, I'm not talking about the structure of the rosters. I'm first talking about the actual teams, as in the organizations. You see, the reason why I mention this is because both of these teams are very interestingly related to one another. They were both founded in 1968, the exact same year. And during that time span, the Bucks coming out of the gate were one of the best teams in the NBA. Of course, in case you don't know, they won the NBA Finals, their only NBA Finals, in 1971, their third year of existence, with Hall of Famers Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bob Dandridge, and Oscar Robinson, and led by, who I personally believe should be in the Hall of Fame, head coach Larry Costello. And they were one of the best teams during the 1970s, and they did make it to the NBA Finals one other time in 1974, but they did not make it back to the finals again until this evening. And you've had many times where the Bucks would be Sidney Moncrief or Marquise Johnson or Ray Allen or many of these other legends. They never got the Bucks over the hump. And even with Giannis early on, whether that be against the Raptors in 2019 or against the Heat in the second round of last year, they always seem to come up short. But finally, Mike Budenholzer gets that monkey off his back. He finally gets to go to an NBA Finals. Even with Giannis hurt. Yeah, I know that Trae Young was hurt too for the Hawks. But this was a Hawks team that was also very, very dominant in the playoffs. And they were almost close to being down 3-1. But they managed to rally back with Young being hurt. And they won the next two games. And here they are in the finals at long last. After almost 50 years, they're finally here, at this time as an Eastern Conference team. As for the Phoenix Suns, though, they've never won a championship. And that's a shame, too, because they've had a lot of successful people. Jerry Colangelo, Hall of Fame executive, 4-time executive of the year. He actually is ahead of the Hall of Fame in Springfield. Charles Barkley, Paul Westphal, rest his soul, Cotton Fitzsimmons, what else? Many other legendary names. Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, Maury Stoudemire, Sean Marion. I can go on and on with names of just influential people for the Phoenix Suns organization, but despite their best efforts, they made it to the finals in 1976. They lost to the Celtics, and they made it to the finals again in 1983, and they lost to the Bulls. And here they're getting their third shot at, this time against the Bucks, and I could not be more happier for Monty Williams. I think it was either him or Thibodeau for Coach of the Year. I'm a Lakers fan, so I'm so ready for basketball to be over. So, yeah, Sean, you bring a good point there. I know you're going to see in the comments when it comes to the Bucks, if the Heat were completely if the Nets were completely healthy, or if Durant hit that shot, it would have been game over for them. Well, the fact of the matter is, you need to win these games, and you could say they were against a relatively easy opponent in the Hawks, but keep in mind, this is also a Hawks team that managed to beat the Knicks at full strength and beat the Sixers at full strength. They were not exactly and Nate McMillan is a quality NBA head coach. He's 20th all-time or 19th all-time in wins for very good reason. He's going to have the full coaching job next year, I guarantee you, and he deserves it. As for the Suns, you can make a bit more of a case that they got a bit of a healthy hand here. I mean, they beat a Lakers team that was injured for most of the season. Anthony Davis was hurt there. LeBron also wasn't feeling it. Dennis Schroeder was also hurt. And then a Nuggets team which had Jokic as your MVP, but at the same time, this is also a Nuggets team that also had Jamal Murray out for the last part of the season. But then again, either way, they still swept them. And as for the series against the Clippers, I'm pretty confident personally that if Kawhi Leonard wasn't hurt, the Clippers would probably be in the finals against the Bucks instead of the Suns. But either way, Reggie Jackson had a great playoff series. I mean, Paul George had an outstanding playoffs too. I mean, he truly is playoff P and not pandemic P. And when it comes to the Suns, don't forget, this is also a team that for the last decade, you can make an argument, them or the Sixers were literally the I would say the Suns. The Suns were literally the laughingstock of the NBA the last decade. Like, they were literally the worst team in terms of wins the entire decade. And the last time they made the playoffs before this year was in 2010, where they ended up losing to the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. And here they are, 10 years later, finally back in the playoffs, and here they are in the finals. Not bad. That's quite a turnaround. Talk about a complete 180 for this organization. James Jones has been an outstanding executive for them. I mean, of course, he always was a big contributor on teams when he was in his playing days. Like, he never had a losing season as a player. Been to 7 NBA finals. This is now his 8th first time as an executive, and he's been a great executive, making lots of moves for this Suns organization. Monty Williams, he is a legitimately great head coach. Well, Grant, to be fair, it's early. It's not like Ty Lue, I believe Ty Lue is a very, very underrated head coach. I think Ty Lue is one of the game's best coaches right now. And Budenholzer, I also think, is one of the game's best coaches. But when it comes to the Suns, it's not just because of luck. Chris Paul has had a great playoffs. Devin Booker, yeah, he's been banged up here and there lately, but he's had a really good playoffs. DeAndre Ayton has been good. Jay Crowder has been good. It's just really nice to see the Suns in this predicament, because for the last, decade, like, John Oliver made a joke, like, how would you know your expression of a Phoenix Suns game? It's a Phoenix Suns game. It's going to make them sad. And yeah, I for a long time, you had Dragon Bender and all these other busts, like Josh Jackson. He was a disappointment for the ages for Phoenix. But here they are. The Suns are in the NBA Finals. It's almost absurd to say. Imagine saying this to someone last year. Don Counter, the last year, saying next year the Phoenix Suns will be in the NBA Finals. You would have said, what? And don't forget, Chris Paul, when his time with the Thunder, he almost requested a trade for the Milwaukee Bucks. And funny enough, he manages to face off against these same Bucks in the NBA Finals. Imagine if it was a Clippers-Hawks series and you would have had Rajon Rondo against the Clippers and Lou Williams against... Rajon Rondo and the Clippers against Lou Williams and the Hawks. That'd be pretty interesting. But that didn't happen. We got the Chris Paul situation. Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, 2 Olympians. In their first finals, they were massive contributors to this. Holiday had a great season. Middleton had a great season too. Both representing their country. And as for the Suns, Devin Booker is also representing. Now you can make a good argument that DeAndre Ayton should have been the one there as the center spot as opposed to Kevin Love. Either way, Love is going to the Olympics, and Ayton's in the finals. So which one is it? I mean, either way, you could say that's a really good thing. But overall, now it's for my actual prediction of this series. You see, Giannis is also kind of banged up right now, so I wasn't too sure if they were going to even win this series because of that. They ended up doing it, even though he wasn't there. But keep in mind, the Bucks have a quality roster. They have Drew Holiday, they have Chris Middleton, they have Jeff Teague, they have Brook Lopez. They have a good roster put together, and the Suns also have a really nice roster. But in my personal opinion, I think having Giannis there or not is what's going to decide this whole thing. But either way, I'm picking the Phoenix Suns to win their first ever NBA championship. I have very large faith in Monty Williams and Chris Paul and Devin Booker in the game to get it done. I'm picking Jay Crowder to avenge his loss in the finals last year. I am picking the Phoenix Suns to win the NBA Finals against the Milwaukee Bucks in 6 games. And if Giannis is not there, I'm going to make it 5. I think the Suns will finally get the monkey off their back. I think Chris Paul will win Finals MVP. I think Monty Williams will be the coach of the year of the playoffs because he has shown that him or Nick McMillan has shown to be the best coach of this entire playoff run. And that has been really, really good for me as a fan of basketball. It's always good to see these new teams because so many people were picking the Nets and the Lakers and the Celtics. Like, yeah, they're nice and all, but why don't we see teams that one team hasn't been to the finals in the last 50 years almost, and the other team has never won a finals in their 50-year history. It's pretty refreshing to see as an NBA fan, especially seeing that you were seeing the future right here. Enough of the Lakers, enough of the Spurs and the Warriors. I mean, the Warriors could potentially get Pascal Siakam, but man, it's good to see these other teams, man. It is so good to see the NBA thriving because a big criticism they've always had is that there's not enough parity. Well, you're getting your parity. You're getting your parity finally. You're having the Bucks and the Suns in the NBA Finals. Imagine saying that to someone 5 or even 6 or 7 years ago. You've been laughing your ass off. But yeah, I can't believe it. I'm excited for this. It's going to be a great finals. I definitely think it's going to be better than how the Stanley Cup. I mean, this Stanley Cup has been ass. I'm sorry. It just has not been that good. The Lightning are wiping the floor with the Canadians. It's not even been close. I think the Islanders would make it a bit more interesting. Or the Golden Knights would have definitely make it more interesting for the Lightning, but it is what it is. The Lightning look like they're going to be on their way to their back-to-back Cup championship. Funny, yeah, I understand it'd be both in a shortened season, but a championship's a championship nevertheless. Same thing here with the Suns. I mean, you can't control COVID. Oh, you're picking the Bucks to win, Adam. I'd be down for the Bucks to win too. I think both of them would be great. I would love to see the Bucks win. I mean, this is their first finals appearance in almost 50 years. I think if they do win, it might not be because of Giannis. I think if Giannis is healthy, they might have a chance to win. If he's not, then I'm picking the Suns. But I think a lot of it will have to do with Jrue Holiday and Chris Middleton. I think those two. Giannis is not really loyal. Well, actually, yeah, Giannis is loyal. But he actually just likes the city of Milwaukee. He wants Milwaukee to win a championship. Can you blame him? The Milwaukee Bucks have been a joke for a long time. I mean, before Giannis came, the last time they made it to the conference finals was 2001, where they lost to the Sixers. And even that almost didn't happen if Vince Carter made that shot. If Vince Carter made that shot in 2001, you would have seen a Raptors and Sixers matchup in the finals. It's a conference finals. But here we are. I think Bucks have the Bucks. Yeah, I agree with you. The Bucks have a much better defense. I mean, Jrue Holiday was a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, he's in the Olympics for a reason. I think they are also a really good shooting team. Though at the same time, I do like the coaching better with Monty Williams compared to Mike Budenholzer. And don't get me wrong, I think Budenholzer's a great coach. I really do think he's a quality coach as well. I understand a lot of fans don't like him as much. I personally do like Mike Budenholzer. Listen, you don't last this long in the league for no reason. He's a legitimately good coach. And the Suns, too, even though I'm picking the Suns to win in 6, I would not be shocked if the Bucks make it very competitive because, again, it's not just the stars here. It's not just the heavy, big star power. It's the depth that both of these teams have. The depth, like Mikal Bridges and DeAndre Ayton, Dario Saric. Again, the depth is what's really key for these. Oh, you wouldn't be shocked if the Bucks win in 5 or 6, even without Giannis? With me, it really depends whether or not Giannis is even playing or not. Because, now, granted, you're going to see, a 6-game rest. So they're going to let this thing rest. Though I would say one thing. If it goes the distance, I don't think Booker, Middleton, or Holiday will participate in the Olympics. I don't think so. Because of that little rest. If it goes to Game 7... that means you'll be seeing the Olympics start off literally the day after, and I don't think that's going to be enough for their bodies. I think if that's the case, then they should be replaced by 3 guys that are a bit more healthy. But at the same time, I would still give them because I would not punish them for that. Remember, this has been a very weird season. Usually the NBA season ends until early middle of June. This case, you're seeing it end in the middle. Early, middle to late July. So I'm really wondering whether or not they're going to still compete. anything could happen. I would still give them Olympic medals regardless. I would still put them there. But I would add 3 more people just in case, because you don't really know what's going to happen. And there could be a chance that any one of those 3 guys get injured. I mean, Booker has had he's got hit facing a lot, so I would still be careful. I would still be very careful. I would not be shocked that either of these teams win. But my final prediction, I think Middleton can clamp up Booker. Oh yeah, Brook Lopez has been great. He's a great shooter. I think it's definitely possible. Either way, I would not be shocked if either of these teams win. I think Chris Paul getting a championship would mean the world to him. I think it would mean the world to DeAndre Ayton, and I think it would mean the world to Devin Booker. I think if the Bucks win a championship, I think it would cement Giannis very highly. I think Budenholzer would get looked up pretty high. But then again, Larry Costello, like I said, he should be in the Hall of Fame. 6-time All-Star, All-NBA member, led a team to a championship, made them one of the premier teams there. I think it'll be tough for Bucks to win without Giannis. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It really just the deciding factor is whether or not the deciding factor for the series is whether or not Giannis is going to be able to play. If he's going to play, the Suns might still win, but the Bucks will be more competitive. If Giannis ends up not playing, at least for the first few games, I think the Suns will win this in 6 games. I'm maybe 5, but I'm going Suns in 6, assuming everything happens. If that's my safe pick. 6 is always my safe pick. 4 is if I'm completely confident in someone. 5 is when I'm really confident. 6 means it's just a normal pick 'em kind of game, and 7 is basically a toss-up. If I'm honest, I would play these opportunities and don't come. Yeah, I would. But again, it depends on whether or not his knee is ready to go. You can't just force someone to go out there, especially considering that it was a pretty, bad knee injury, at least, when we looked at it. It's important you can't force these injuries out, because if he goes out there and he really hurts himself, that would be doom and gloom for your franchise, and you wouldn't win the finals or anything else for a long time. So you need to be very, very cautious. I would not start him in the first game, maybe not even in the second game either. But if he's good enough by the third game, if he's comfortable to play, and if the doctors say he's comfortable to play, I let him play, but I'll also make sure I'm consuming his minutes. Just make sure it's careful. Again, you have a really nice roster, Middleton and Holiday and Lopez. Make sure you're consuming. Yes, I think that's a good thing. Just rest him. Yes, I like that. Definitely, I would definitely sit him for game 1. Game 1, I would definitely sit him. Game 2, if he's ready, I'd let him play on consume minutes. But by game 3, if he's good enough, I'll let him start. That's how I personally see it. But you should at least rest him for game 1. It also depends on how you do in game 1. If you lose game 1, then you should probably think about putting Giannis. But if you win game 1, you probably don't have to focus on that as much. You can allow him to rest a little bit. So it really depends on how you do without Giannis in game 1, and that's where I'll decide. So thank you guys for watching. I'm excited for this finals, like I always am. Make sure to subscribe to Zane62 Media if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell to get notified for new videos. Make sure to like on this video and comment below if you have anything else to say. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at VinLospinuso91 or VinLospinuso91. I'm on there. Bucks can beat Suns in game 1. I see you. Yeah. Either way, I'm excited for great finals. I hope this is a really good finals. Definitely not a finals I was expecting. I was personally expecting a Jazz-Nets finals. And we did not get that, but either way, I'm excited for this. I'm happy. Best of luck. Clippers had a great season. Very happy they made it to the conference finals finally. Ty Lue's a great coach. Hawks, hell of a run. Nice Cinderella story. Sad to see it come to an end. I very respect that team. McMillan should better get this, and Trae Young is a face of the future. Either way, guys, I can't wait. Just one more series to go, and a really great finals will be in the books. This playoffs has been fantastic. I just can't say it. This playoffs was a great, especially the second round was outstanding. That was a great round of playoff games, and I love the play-in round. I was fine with it. You just 4 extra games, just 4 extra teams. It can't be that bad. It was fun to watch. It was good basketball. Yeah, they are playoff games. I mean, it's postseason. It's post the season, so yeah, it's post. I know they don't say playoff, but Yeah, neither team ever has won a ring. That's correct. Once you count James Jones, but he's not a player. But hey, either way, guys, it's always fun speaking this, and I'll catch you next time. And I can't wait for a great finals. Hope it goes the distance. See you guys. Peace.